Hey everybody, this is Coach Allison and I have week 26 Defy Aging to show you today. We have one big circuit of 8 exercises, so pretty standard, pretty typical. We're going to go through that for 3 rounds and each round will be timed differently. Round 1 is something 20 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Round 2 is 30 seconds on, 35 seconds off. And round 3 is 35 seconds on, 40 off. So I know that sounded confusing, but your work increases with each set, as does your rest. Let's go through our exercises. All right, our first exercise is a half kneel single arm row. So your coach will have the bands hooked up to the rack. You're going to do a half kneel position, so one knee down, one knee up. The side with the knee that's down, that's the side that we're going to be working. So our arm is straight to start. We do a back row, meaning we pull that elbow back. You can get a little bit of a rotation with your torso. Pull, squeeze that elbow back nice and tight, release, exhale, pull, release, nice and steady. Try to get a full stretch on the way back in. What I mean by that is we don't want to stop it right here. See how I'm not letting my arm fully stretch, but we want to get that full stretch. Halfway through the set, change legs, change arms. So remember, our first set is only 20 seconds on, so it's only 10 seconds each side, so that will go pretty quick. If you're unable to be on the knees, it is a little rough on the knees, or get down to the floor, you're going to do pretty much the same thing, but instead of a kneel position, you're going to be in a staggered stance. So this would have been my kneeling. This is my standing staggered. So you see how it's very similar. And the back row itself is exactly the same. That is our half kneel single arm back row. Okay, dead bug is next. Laying on your back. It's a core exercise. With a lot of coordination too. So you bring the knees up, and if your calf, oh my goodness, quad is straight up and down, this is really engaging the core. If that's too much for your lower back, pull the knees in a little more, and that's going to release some pressure on your lower back. So keep that in mind wherever you need those knees. Arms are also up, and we extend one leg and the opposite arm, and pull back in. One leg, opposite arm. A lot of coordination on that. You can rest your head down. I was keeping my head up because I have a hair clip in. I don't know if you noticed that, but feel free to rest your head down. Now, if you're unable to get to the floor, we're going to do an incline bird dog. Very similar muscle groups, muscles being worked. Hands on a box, feet flat on the floor, soft bend your knees. Same idea with the one arm and the opposite leg are going to extend. Okay, try to get as much of a full lift as you can. We're trying to avoid kind of a small movement, so do your best to get up nice and big. All right, that is our exercise 3 is a brace squat. Use a medicine ball for this, or if the medicine balls at your club don't go light enough, I think 8 might be the lowest weight. If you want a 6, 5, 4, grab a dumbbell that's lighter. And if you're holding a dumbbell, you'll hold the bell on its ends because you want to be holding it with 2 hands. So that said, a brace squat has some steps involved. So we go out with the arms, then squat, then up, pull back in. Again, out, down, up, in. Out, down, up, in. When you're in a squat and your arms are extended, you're going to feel a lot of challenge on the shoulders and chest muscles. Okay, next one, cross mountain climber. It's not a cardio mountain climber like a typical mountain climber. It's the primary target is abs, core. So you're in a push-up position. That means your hands and your toes. This exercise you can't actually do on your knees. So if you're unable to get to the floor, don't worry. I have an option for you. I'll show you in a second. So first of all, make sure your hips are level so we're not way up here with those hips. Bring one knee towards the opposite elbow. Not going to touch, but you're trying to get a twist at the hips or waist, bringing that knee towards the opposite elbow. Should feel a ton of work in the abs and obliques on the sides. If you're unable to get to the floor, same thing on an incline. Everything's the same. Still though, watch out for the hips up here and the hands here and shoulders back. So we don't want to do this, but instead bring your body forward so your shoulders are stacked over your hands. Step your feet back. Now we're in a proper plank and knee towards the opposite elbow. All right, that is our cross mountain climber. Next exercise, single arm chest press. So you're on the floor, laying on your back. You have one weight for this, just one. Rest your head down, and we press up and lower down. So as you're pressing up, bring the weight slightly inward. So you want to end with this inside bell kind of directly over that side of your chest. We don't end with it way out here. It starts out here, but then as we press up, it drifts inward. All right, halfway through the set, your coach will call out halfway and switch arms, do the other half on the other side. Okay, now if you're unable to get to the floor, we're going to have a band set up for you for a single arm band chest press. And I will show you what that's going to look like. All right, band is tied up on the rack. Let's to the side so you can see better. And you want the band coming over your shoulder, not under the armpit. The side with the band, that leg is back for some stability. And we press forward. See how it's the exact same movement I was doing on the floor with the dumbbell? We're just doing it differently. If you need more resistance, you step farther forward. Halfway through, you'll switch the stance, switch the arm. Okay, so that's your option if the floor is not going to work for you. Single arm rope, battle rope circles. That was very smooth, huh? Okay, this one's different. Single arm circles. So you can step on the other side to kind of brace it down just so it doesn't pull through. Or your coach can anchor it down, maybe put a couple of weights on it. So whatever your club does, but we don't want the other side free because as you're doing your work on this side, it's going to start to pull it through. So I'm just going to anchor it with my foot. But again, your coach might have a couple of weight plates down to anchor it. Okay, plant your feet, hips back. Go in single arm circles. Halfway through, you're going to switch arms, of course. Okay. So the motion that you're doing, it was hard to see from the side, I know. The motion you're doing is like this, making a big circle. And then, of course, switch sides. Show you one more time. It's kind of fun. So have fun with that one. It's a little different. Kettlebell deadlift. We do these a lot. Deadlifts are just one of the best exercises. That's hardly even my opinion. It's kind of the consensus in the fitness industry. One of the best exercises for total body, specifically posterior chain, but core, upper, middle, lower back, glutes, hamstrings, your abs, balance, everything. So that's why we do them a lot. Got your kettlebell, soft bend in your knees, hinging at your hips. As you hinge your butt back, you come forward and you want your back to end nice and flat. So I'll do a few of these so you can see all those steps. Soft bend in the knees, butt back, hinge at your hips, end up with your back flat. You don't have to touch the floor. You don't have to go that low. You actually don't want to go that low. As soon as you feel a good stretch right here, that's low enough. Come all the way up, squeeze your butt at the top. What we're trying to avoid is rounding down like this. See how my shoulders are shrugged, my arms are just hanging forward, my back is rounded. Now I'm going to fix this position. See all that shifting I just did? I'll go back to what we don't want and then what we do want. So it's a matter of popping those hips back, putting a little bit of an arch in your lower back and keeping that upper back flat. Once you master it, it's kind of like riding a bike. That muscle memory sets in, but if it's new for you, just keep working on it and your coach will help you. Last one, medicine ball toss and slam. All right, you do one toss, one slam, and keep it going. So you're gonna toss it, catch it, slam. Toss, catch, slam. That one's actually kind of fun. It'll take a few tosses to get it down. Usually people tend to toss it kind of forward. You really want to make sure you're tossing it straight up so it comes straight back down. Play around with that one. It's kind of fun. Medicine ball, toss and slam. Okay, everybody, those were our 8 exercises. Again, 3 rounds, 3 different timing intervals. So I hope you enjoy week 26.